Hi everyone. So I know it's been a while and I've been meaning to get back on and try to say something, but what is there to say at this point besides the fact that we went from number 1 draft pick to just 9? What is there to say that there's so many shitty teams that we literally dropped so easily down to 9? Uh, I am just I don't even know how to feel honestly. Do we think that what you guys think? Do you think we're going to get a freaking quarterback at this point this year? Is it even worth getting a quarterback at the ninth pick? And do we have an opportunity to go up? Some are saying that if we lose next game, we might be able to get up high to the fifth, depending on all these reasons and how many teams have to lose. And just, it's so complicated at this point. And for me, my biggest issue is the Raiders better fucking not. I swear, better not try to move up in the draft because at this point, I get it as an organization. You can't just lose games. You have so many people who are ticket holders, people who are currently have stake in the business of the Raiders. But you've committed this far. Why would you lead us on, especially considering that we saw Sanders Shador coming to Vegas with obviously talking about the future. You get all the fans hoping and excited, thinking that there's a chance that we would get this quarterback, which, I mean, it's still not off the table. But for me at this point, what are you going to give to get up higher in the draft? And do you honestly truly believe that we're going to be close enough to get him? Or are you thinking that you're going to have to already trade draft capital? And from what I'm gathering from a lot of people who watch college, Shador's not that kind of guy to go above and beyond to get these kind of draft picks, which I don't watch college. So you tell me what you think. Is anybody at this quarterback draft worth moving up into the draft and trying to get and pick up? Or at this point, you just roll with AOC, maybe pick someone in the late and hope that they're like a Bo Nix and be late in the draft that you pick up and might benefit for the team long run, and have AOC kind of just play this next season out and then have the person back up like Penix Jr. come in towards late in the season to see what they. I think the most thing I have the biggest problem with is that seeing how good AOC has played, and I think I've said this from like day one, game two, game day one before the first season game started, and then game two after I saw Gardner Minshew play. I thought to myself, what was it that AOC did not start, and who made that decision? Because seeing how well he's played these games in the last few games that he's played, why didn't you start with AOC at this point? Aiden O'Connell had nothing but showed us exactly what we would have been as a team if we had played with him to begin with. Mind you, we're still out of Max Crosby. We're still out of Wilkins. We started like a lot of defensive players out. So the fact that we continue to win games and not have all our star players is kind of like insulting, because as a fan, you watch these games and you're like, okay, well, there's no way that we're better than these teams that we won against, because you cut all the people that are actually been out this season now and look at us from the beginning of the season. We were much a better team in the beginning of the season, and the only difference was our quarterback situation. And the fact that it took that long to have Aiden O'Connell start is kind of questionable whether it's fire worthy, because you essentially not only fucked our chances to having a playoff run, which we won't know. We could have maybe had a playoff run. You see, Denver is having their playoff run potential, but then you just kind of screw us in the draft, which, you know, it is like, why? At this point, as a fan, you're like, I get it. I don't mind watching us win, but it's frustrating because what is the plan? Because you didn't have a plan coming into the season with AOC and Gardner Minshew, which is why they both are competing for the quarterback situation. And now you want me to believe that, seeing how Aiden O'Connell has been playing, you want me to believe when you watched him play against Gardner Minshew, you thought Gardner Minshew was the one to start. Why? Do you think it's because he could run in the pocket? But even then, when Gardner Minshew would throw off of the pocket, he was absolutely terrible to watch. He was actually frightening to watch because I think that was the majority of where his interceptions came from. So now I have questions like, what do we do? Do we keep this head coach? Do we fire a head coach? Because now you got rid of the offensive coordinator, which had to be done, number one. But you're now doing better offensively, which questionable because technically this offense probably still would have been beneficial with not saying like the offense coordinator was great, but you would have put. But I'm hoping that you guys have a great holiday. Hoping for this year to be hopefully the year that we make playoffs and make an actually good run. Maybe we figure out something, get a head coach that might get the stuff together, that things that are there that I feel like we're a good team. We're just very bad managed and bad coached. I don't know. I just don't know if there's any answers for the Raiders at this point. But I'm gonna still watch. And I'm hoping that we lose. Because at this point, we need our draft pick to be a little bit higher to get something worth picking. Which, I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you think we should go offensive line? We should go quarterback? Or do you think that I mean, I don't know. What do we do? What do we do? I mean, we have a really good, solid offensive core. Brock Bowers was an amazing pick, which, I was very questionable with it. Michael Mayers is great. Now, do you trade some of these players to try to get draft capital in return? Ooh, it's just, we're messy this season, and it's going to be messy in the offseason. So, Happy New Year.